Well, I have three daughters.
Okay.
My oldest is a ICU critical care nurse, and my middle daughter is a student at UNC Chapel Hill.
Okay.
And my youngest is at North
Oh,
Carolina
so
Central.
you got them all over the place.
Got 'em
Well,
all over the
okay,
place.
all right.
Absolutely.
Well, I just God gave you what you're supposed to have, so
That's
I have
right.
one, and you have you like Fred and Mary, my three daughters. Okay, all right, I got you. Well, anyway, look, welcome to our studios. Glad to have the opportunity to talk to you. I want to talk to both of you guys about education in general, you know. So what made you become interested in public education and involving yourself in that realm of life?
Well, I grew up in it.
Okay.
My dad was a high school principal. My mom was a kindergarten teacher for 40 years. A bunch of aunts, uncles, and cousins were educators. Mom and dad went to Fayetteville State.
Okay.
Fayetteville State Teachers College.
All right.
By the way. So I have an older brother. He's an educator as well. He's a superintendent in another state. I guess you could say we grew up in it. And when we were young kids, we would always say to each other, no matter what we do,
right,
we will not do what they do.
Oh,
right?
Wow.
But as we got older and came of age, we fell in love with this business.
Okay.
And we saw the impact that our parents had on our small town. I'm from the northeast corner of the state, Halifax County. We grew up in Weldon.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever been up that way, but that's where we're from.
I've been up that way before.
Up in Weldon. And it really got in our blood. We loved it. I went to Central, majored in elementary ed, fell in love with the department, and just wanted to be a teacher. And my dad kept encouraging me, hey, being a teacher's fine, but I think you have some leadership skills that could help on another level. Consider going into school administration. So I did that and was a principal for 7 years. And then went to the district level and eventually became a superintendent 18 years ago.
So what you do your grad work at?
Virginia State University.
Okay.
Up in Petersburg.
Okay. What they call they the Trojans?
They the Trojans, absolutely.
Okay, I remember that.
That's pretty good.
Trojans. Got the great cheerleaders, the woo-woo, you know.
Excellent day.
It's a great experience.
Right.
Great school administration department.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Really
Wonderful.
taught me a lot.
Well, I mean, that's exciting, man. You know, so do you know what class your mom and dad were at Fayetteville State?
My dad was 1960.
Okay.
And I believe my mom was 57.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
And I'm desperately trying to find out where they did student teaching at. So
Okay.
if anybody out there can help me where they did their student teaching, I want to know that.
The math student taught me, you know, some of them, I was in Harnett County.
Okay.
And there was a school called South Harnett right off 210 there, they passed Spring Lake. And we picked up a lot of student teachers coming over there. And
Sure.
I may have sat in one of their classes before, you know, back segregation time.
Sure.
Because I was there from 1961 through 1968.
Sure. And I'm really kicking myself. They both passed away now. All the things we talked about. They talked about the Fayetteville State days a lot. They loved Fayetteville State. I never asked where their student taught.
Oh, wow.
I heard them talk about their student teaching experience, but I never asked them what school.
Okay. So, you know, you deep dived into this thing of public education. What do you see happening since you first began this journey and to where we are now?
Like changes that have taken place? Well, like everything evolves, public education has evolved as well. Parents have more options. They can go to private, charter, they can get the opportunity scholarship and things like that. So we've seen school districts average daily membership, or ADM as we call it, decrease. Most of us have lost students over the last few years, but at the end of the day, it's still teaching and learning. And it's up to us, me as a leader of the district, our principals, our teachers, to educate at the highest level the kids that are in front of us every single day. And I take that responsibility serious. I know our staff and our teachers take it seriously as well. It's a great responsibility, but it's one we embrace wholeheartedly.
Sure. Right. So, Greg, you know, when you guys make hires, you had Dr. Conley previously, and now you have Dr. Bracy. In that environment that you're looking for a leader, what kinds of things are you guys as a board looking for in leadership, particularly to bring to a community like Cumberland County?
Sure, it's a great question. I mean, Dr. Brace is the third superintendent I've served with. So fourth actually, Dr. Harrison was here, and then Dr. Till took his place, and then Dr. Conley, and then and now Dr. Bracey. At this, for his hire, when we brought him on, it was a track record of turning around low performing schools.
Right.
You know, we've had that stigma with, you know, several of our schools being, you know, stuck in that position, and he had a track record of affecting that in several other counties. He didn't mention the counties he served in. That may be interesting to the viewership too. I think, 4 superintendencies.
Yes, 4th district. Started in Northampton County in 2008, which is where my parents were from. My grandparents lived there. My church membership is there. Was there for 5.5. Then had the opportunity to go to Sampson County, right next door.
So you were in Sampson?
I was in Sampson County 6.5 years, 2014 to 2020.
Oh, wow.
I was there.
Okay.
We used to live in Roseboro.
Man, look.
You know,
Well, okay.
we know about the Dogwood Festival. We used to come over here
Okay.
to the Dogwood Festival. We're no stranger to that. And we love Sampson County. And went to Johnston County when COVID happened.
Yeah, I do recall that you were at Johnson County. I was going to ask you about that because this phenomenal growth over in Johnson County, man. It's like they're exploding over there.
Absolutely. Still exploding.
All the little Clayton and all the little towns, man, they got movie theaters.
Pharmaceutical, the big buildings.
Serious. They're huge.
Big plants.
Yeah. In Sampson County, one of the things we take great pride in is we became the 15th highest performing school system in the state.
Okay.
While I was there. I think they were 68th or 64th when I got there. We became number 15.
Wow.
And we were so proud of that.
Excellent. That's excellent.
Had similar results in Johnston. They were 83rd when we got there, and we got up to 30. I think they had 15 low performing schools. We got them down to 1.
Okay.
So very excited, very proud of that. And we come here, and we're excited about the challenge. There are 27 low performing schools here at the end of last school year, and our goal and our mission is to reduce that number.
Sure. So now, when you was in Roseboro, did you ever know Dr. Johnson? He was a pastor also at First Baptist in Clinton, but he was a superintendent of schools at one time. I know.
Really?
Yeah, right. But he was from Roseboro, there. But he may have been deceased by the time you were there.
Okay.
But a lot of history there, though. You know.
When I was there, the pastor at First Baptist in Clinton was Leonard Henry. You know Leonard Henry?
Don't know him. Yeah. I know the previous pastor prior to him,
okay.
and also the female that was behind him.
Okay.
I know her because she was actually a music teacher at Reed Ross.
Oh wow!
One time, right?
Yeah.
And so she's ministering over there now, right?
Okay. Yeah, we love Roseboro. We love living in Roseboro. And we run over here to go to Target, go to Harris Teeter, all those things, and head on back down road. And that time you go through Archerville.
Yes, right.
To get here, and you hit that line, the South River.
Yeah.
And the Cumberland County line. Yeah.
Now you've got a bypass.
That's
you miss
right.
all those little towns.
Yeah, nobody goes to Roseboro. I hope they're doing okay because I'm sure the bypass, people don't go through it as often. They fill up with gas.
Right, that's true. Right. And you got, Archerville, which is in Cumberland and also Sampson. The address is in both counties. But that's interesting, though. That's interesting. Wow. Well, you bring some good experience to the table here, and you've been here how long now?
July 1st.
July 1st. Okay,
day.
so you're getting your first year under the belt.
Yes.
And I would imagine when you come to a new place, you want to kind of stand back and look at it for a minute to try and see what's going on.
Sure. Anytime you come into a situation, you look at it, see how it's operating, see if there's any immediate change that you can make without dismantling everything. But if things are working well, you let them work well.
Sure.
And if you need to inject new life or new energy in something, you do that as well. So it really evolves over time. And a lot of change will happen as I stay here. A lot of change will be at the end of the school year as well.
Sure.
Because I've had a chance to take it all in for a year.
Right.
But if things are working well, we let them continue to work well.
Greg, so now some systems, they say they are decentralized and some of them are centralized, meaning that they allow site management to be more free flow than other areas. So are we decentralized here? I mean, in other words, a principal is more kind of independent at his site, or?
Yeah, well, I'm going to punt this question to him after an intro, because I have heard that phrase was much more popular a decade ago. Site-based management, that was the buzzword, and education has buzzwords just like every other industry. But I do think it's like a pendulum where it swings one way, and then it's probably got too much decentralized. And I think now I'll let him speak to it, but I sense we're trying to get control and do do the same best thing at every place. But I'll let you talk to that, Dr. Branson.
I believe in site-based management, but at the end of the day, I think it has evolved into a partnership between the district office and the school site. Obviously, we won't know every single thing that happens at the school, but things a lot of times trickle up to us, and we have to make decisions and help principals help navigate them through various situations. But the reason I say it's a partnership is because we're all accountable for our results.
Right, true.
Which is end of grade and end of course tests. And we expect our principals to lead our schools into higher academic performance. The board expects me to lead the district into higher academic performance. So you used the word independent. I think you said independent contractors.
Right.
No, they're not independent contractors. Not at all, by any means. They're going to be held to a high standard this year.
Sure.
On how they perform.
Now, when we are talking about, the schools, because community is important.
Yes.
In all those places you've been before, I'm assured that your success was tied to support from community and understanding your community.
Absolutely. You can't be successful as a leader or a leader of a district like me or a leader of a school like our 80-plus principals and not be connected to the community and be connected to homes. The effective schools research is old research, late 70s, early 80s, Ron Edmonds, but it still rings true. There has to be a good, strong correlation between home and school and a partnership between home and school, because at the end of the day, we all are invested to make sure the students that come from those homes are productive, performing, and are getting a quality education. And you have to make sure your community understands your goals, what you're about, what you want to accomplish when all is said and done. And what we want to accomplish is to become the highest performing school system in North Carolina.
Right. So, there's things passed down. I mean, now I'm just an observer. But I remember when it was No Child Left Behind,
Yes.
you were in the middle of that.
President Bush, I guess.
believe that.
George W. Bush, yes.
I believe, right, that came out of Texas with
Yes, Rod
George
Page.
Right. And, but what about that? I mean, because just as an onlooker, it would seem that, that they would kind of leave you guys alone and let you do what you know best to do. But then, as soon as you end in one thing and you get a new administration and then you're in something else, I'm not saying that presents a problem, but I would think that educators, you all go to college, you have these degrees, you have advanced degrees, you kind of know what you need to do in a particular system. But when you got a mandate coming from down top and saying, we're going to do this like this, like No Child Left Behind specifically. I mean, the way I understood that to be was that if one child was failing in the school, then, that could affect how the whole school was viewed. Am I correct with that, or?
You're taking me back a ways. But let me give you my memories of No Child Left Behind and why I thought it. First of all, I think Rod Page, Dr. Rod Page, he recently passed away, is one of the greatest Secretary of Education in history. I had the opportunity to meet him. Met him at a Dallas Cowboy game, by the way. I had the opportunity to meet him there.
They weren't watching the game.
I think he'd been superintendent in Houston. What I respected about him and respected about No Child Left Behind, if I recall the No Child Left Behind legislation correctly, what it forced us to do is what we started doing then and we've done since, is focus on subgroups.
Okay.
Not just how the entire school is performing, how are your subgroups performing? Your students with disabilities, your students that are on free and reduced lunch. I think we categorize them as economically disadvantaged students, your black students, your white students. We look at not only how the entire school is performing, but we also look at the subgroups. Now, that was 2001. I think we're still looking at subgroups today.
Okay.
When we have our conversations and we break down our data, we want to talk about the entire student proficiency, but we also want to talk about how our subgroups are performing. Because there's still federal designations that if they're not performing well, you get dinged. by the feds on those subgroups if they're not performing at a high level. So I think it was monumental legislation. If I recall, it didn't tell me, I was a principal at the time, I don't think it told me how to do my job or how to tell teachers how to teach. It just helped me inform teachers that we have to have all of these students proficient and growing every year. So I think we met adequate yearly progress, which was a designation that
AYP.
came out. AYP. Yeah, adequate yearly progress. I think we met that all or most years I was a principal. So I embraced that challenge of No Child Left Behind.
Now, your mom and dad,
Yes.
when they were doing that thing.
Oh, yeah.
And actually, because I'm a product of that time, I actually think that they had less resources, so to speak,
Without question.
and they were doing a pretty good job. I mean, there are a lot of distractions in schools now, right?
Yes.
I mean, you guys come up with a policy.
Yes.
Concerning these, I'm holding up a cell phone, guys, for those that are listening. Youngsters have a lot of distractions now in school, whereas we didn't have those distractions. You know what I mean? We were looking for PE time to go out and play, but that was about it,
Yes.
How do you manage all that? Because you got all this stuff going on, and in the second hour, I'll bleed into AI stuff. But what about that?
I think what it forces you as a teacher to do is to be dynamic.
Okay.
Be so good and so energetic, and just that why would you touch that phone when you got me standing in front of you teaching at an extremely high level? Is it harder now than it was then? I would say yes, because they didn't have those distractions, even though we have many, many more resources. But it makes us as educators have to be more dynamic, so they won't even want to pick their phone up, I believe.
Sure. Now, Greg, you've been through. This is your fourth superintendent, correct?
Right.
You remember a time when you guys had to sue the Board of Commissioners to get the money that you needed. Am I right about that, right?
No, it was contentious every year, and we always got less than we asked for.
Right. But this year,
Right.
you guys.
We were fully funded, so the commissioners, I don't know what happened, but we're grateful for it. Were they fully funded?
You hired Dr.
Well, we
Brayson.
hired Dr. Brayson. They saw something in him, I guess. We wanted to take the excuses away. So there you go. The excuses have been removed, and the good conversations are happening about this year's budget. And the main thing we did was push more money through what we call our supplement out to our teachers. And Troy, that's been one of the biggest things. The federal legislation you mentioned, they're probably 20% of our budget, so they don't have a lot of control over us. We're mainly, driven by the state, and that's where the majority of our money comes from, and our accountability is too. But our teacher pay, I've seen, is our teacher pay, to finish that sentence, is lacking, and I've seen less people going into the profession than ever. There used to be a surplus, and now there's a shortage, and the education schools used to turn out more than we needed, and they're not now. People aren't choosing to go there, and I don't know, it's a combination of things.
It is.
It's money. It could be the working environment and the attractiveness of other jobs, I guess, and because those teachers, they're on when they walk in the building till they leave. They're on. They can't work from home, and so
true.
It's just a different time, and we've got to be creative, and we've got to, as a society, we've got to want to find a way to get more people to choose, do our best and brightest to go into education.
Sure.
And not medicine and law.
Well, look, we're going to take a break, come back, and we'll continue our conversation this morning with Dr. Eric Bracey, Superintendent of Schools, Cumberland County, and he's approaching a year here. And like I said, I'm glad he's here because they got fully funded. They have to sue anybody. And also, board member Greg West. So we'll be back for more following this break.
Your child's doctor shares your goals, a healthy future for your child. Doctors recommend vaccines throughout childhood because they protect what matters most, your child's future from preventable disease and serious illness. Discuss any questions you have and check that your child is up to date and talk about any concerns. You're right to have questions. Get real answers. Start a conversation with your doctor today. Visit vaccinesforkids.nc.gov. Paid for by NCDHHS.
In an overnight session, the U.S. Senate passed a $70 billion spending resolution to fund the Department of Homeland Security, partially shut down without funding for over 2 months. North Carolina educators calling for more investment in public schools. It was a rally titled Kids Over Corporations in Raleigh. Only 2 days into the short session, the State House and Senate approved a deal providing up to $319 million more in Medicaid funding to finish out the current fiscal year. The U.S. Senate rejecting another attempt to rein in President Trump's ability to use further military force, the fifth effort to do so that has failed. Spirit Airlines asking the federal government to help keep them afloat, a move that could leave taxpayers footing the bill. It could be the beginning of a mega merger in a studio when Warner Brothers Discovery shareholders vote on the proposed merger with Paramount Skydance later today. Tony Rixby, NCN News.
I'm Jamie Monticelli, WIDU Radio News. The cause of a structure fire that happened yesterday is under investigation. At about 5 a.m. yesterday, the Fayetteville Fire Department went out to a reported structure fire. This was on Maloney Avenue near Grove Street. First arriving units found heavy fire showing from an apparent vacant building. That fire was taken under control and no injuries were reported. Again, the cause of that fire is under investigation. The countdown is on for the annual Senior Living Expo. Join the Cumberland County Department of Social Services on Wednesday, May 6th, 9 a.m. until noon at 1225 Ramsey Street in Fayetteville. Held in recognition of Older Americans Month, that event will connect residents 50 and over with their families with valuable programs, available resources, and services in the county. Attendees can meet local organizations, learn about programs that support healthy aging, enjoy fun activities, and have the chance to win prizes. From WIDU Radio, I'm Jamie Monticelli.
With high pressure in place, we'll stay mostly dry over the next couple of days. Then our next cold front will bring a better chance for showers and storms into this weekend, then cooling temperatures by Sunday. Mostly clear skies this morning with temperatures in the mid-50s, then lots of sunshine this afternoon. Highs will reach the mid-80s across the area. We'll drop to the mid to upper 50s Friday morning, then highs in the mid to upper 80s on Friday with plenty of sunshine. I'm meteorologist Grant Skinner in the NCN Weather Center.
Hi, I'm Mitch Colvin, president of Colvin Funeral Home and Crematory. For over 50 years, our family has provided professional services with dignity, compassion, and respect with families during a time of need. We realize funeral services are as unique as those we're honoring. We offer a variety of affordable, quality services tailored to meet each family's needs, specializing in burial and cremation services. Proudly servicing Cumberland, Robeson, Hope, Harnett, Bladen, and surrounding counties from 2 locations, 2010 Murchison Road, Fayetteville, 1904 Elizabethtown Road, Lumberton. For more information, visit our website, www.hmcolvin.com.
With high pressure in place, we'll stay mostly dry over the next couple of days. Then our next cold front will bring a better chance for showers and storms into this weekend, then cooling temperatures by Sunday. Mostly clear skies this morning with temperatures in the mid-50s, then lots of sunshine this afternoon. Highs will reach the mid-80s across the area. We'll drop to the mid to upper 50s Friday morning, then highs in the mid to upper 80s on Friday with plenty of sunshine. I'm meteorologist Grant Skinner in the NCN Weather Center.
If you can no longer work because of illness or injury, you should be collecting Social Security disability insurance benefits. Call Brent Adams now for a free consultation. Don't give up just because you've been turned down. Brent Adams has helped thousands collect full disability benefits even after they've been turned down. Call now, 910-888-8888. Don't hesitate. Call 8. At Brent Adams & Associates, we make things right.
Are you struggling with your Medicare drug costs? The NC Department of Insurance SHIP program may be able to help. The Extra Help and Medicare Savings programs are available for those who qualify, but you have to apply. Contact SHIP today to see if you qualify. Visit ncshiip.com or call toll-free at 855-408-1212. SHIP provides free, unbiased help in all 100 counties.
Project supported by grants from the Administration for Community Living. Contents do not necessarily represent official views of, nor an endorsement by ACL, HHS, or the U.S. government.
It's Friday Night Live in Fayetteville, North Carolina, where worship and praise and ministry will come together for an anointed time of the Lord. Friday, May 1st at 7:30 p.m. at the Gateway Center, 3860 Gateway Drive in Fayetteville, North Carolina, with special musical guests Reverend Luther Barnes and the Restoration Worship Center Choir and spoken word from Ambassador David Gilliam of Impact Nation, Petersburg, Virginia, and Houston, Texas. Come expecting to be uplifted and blessed as these men of God sing and preach about God's goodness and His healing power. That's Friday Night Live, May 1st, with Reverend Luther Barnes and the Restoration Worship Center Choir and spoken word from Ambassador David Gilliam of Impact Nation Church, Petersburg, Virginia, and Houston, Texas. Set for worship and praise at the Gateway Center, 3860 Gateway Drive in Fayetteville, North Carolina. A free will offering will be taken. That's Friday Night Live, Fayetteville, free and open to the public. For more information, call 877-959-7418 or go to davidgilliamministriesworldwide.org.
This April, join North Carolina Realtors in celebrating Fair Housing Month. Fair housing means everyone deserves a place to call home, regardless of race, color, national origin, religion, sex, or disability. NC Realtors are committed to fair housing for all North Carolinians and ensuring that everyone has access to safe and affordable housing. Let's work together to create communities where everyone can thrive. Visit ncrealtors.org to learn more about fair housing. Paid for by NC Realtors.
And we're back now about 23 minutes for the top of the hour. Dr. Eric Bracey, and he's superintendent of schools, Cumberland County, as well as school board member Greg West, having a conversation during the break, talking about, Dr. Bracey began the conversation talking about people making choices, talk about vouchers, all this stuff. I don't want to go a deep dive into that. That's kind of political in some ways. But let's talk about making public school more attractive to people. Certainly, I believe everybody needs an option because, like I said, we had an option in our house. Okay, but let's talk about that. How do we make it more attractive? And I guess how do we make teaching an honorable profession again, in a sense, you know what I mean? Because so many people are moving away from it. Your mom and dad were at Fayetteville State when it was a Fayetteville State Teachers College. I remember that.
Teachers College, absolutely.
And now, I think they came into the university system in 1972, somewhere around in there.
I know that.
But how do we flip that and make it more attractive?
I'll start with how we as a school system can continue to market ourselves and make ourselves more attractive. I think we have to perform better academically. Let's start there. We have to reduce our number of low performance schools. We have to do that. We have to give parents everything they need here in the public education system, and so they won't feel a need to go anywhere else privately or anything like that. We have to continue adding options for parents and choices that are appealing to them as well. We have to make sure that our schools have high quality teaching and learning happening every day. We have to make sure that our schools are safe and have an amazing climate that allow our teachers to teach at a high level every day. We need our school administrators, our teachers, to make sure that our schools are safe and also have a great school climate in those schools. As a school system, it starts with maybe we need to make sure that our schools have great curb appeal. People look at that when they're choosing schools. The look of the building, the curb appeal of the building, they really do. But I think at the top of that list is we as a school system have to perform better academically.
Greg?
I can't say any better than that. He touched all the bases, but it really comes down to academic performance. for every child. We didn't talk about exceptional children. We the privates and the religious schools don't really take on too many exceptional children, but we do phenomenal work with that subgroup of children as well. So I'm proud of that. We teach them all, and but we can always do better, and we're striving under his leadership to do better.
So,
and I was going to add this, Troy, if I may. I remember being in Johnston County in Walmart or at Sheetz pumping gas, talking to a parent, and I would always ask if I saw a small child, where's he go to or where does she go to? And if they were not going to our school system, I would always ask why. And when they would say, all those low performance schools, I said, no, actually, we only have 3. When we were decreasing at a high level, I said, we only have 3. And that's the conversation you want to have. You make the decision as a parent where you want to send your child. But I'm going to remove all those reasons when it comes to academic performance. That's our goal as a school system. And if there's another reason you're making a choice to go somewhere else, that's something I can't control.
Right.
But what I can control is the student performance.
Sure. And I think that's I think that's crucial.
It is
certainly because people want the best for their child.
They do.
I mean, who wouldn't?
That's right.
I volunteer. Matter of fact, the station here has adopted Bill Hefner.
Yes.
And so I volunteer there. So I know that Dr. Backman. This is her first year there. She was at West area, I think.
West area, she was.
And doing great there, and they moved over there.
Yes.
I guess to do what she was doing at West area, But I've had a front row seat this year. Been a minute since I've been in the school system as a volunteer. And I see, when I mean by volunteers, I'm talking to kids at assemblies and things like that. I see them passing out the awards. And that's K through 5 over there. It just, what I see is phenomenal, The caring, the professionalism of the staff.
Sure.
I don't know what other schools are doing, but I really like that environment because it reminds me of what I was in. I mean, everybody looks like a professional. In some systems you go in, the teachers not being mean, but they don't look like professionals. I can't tell who's walking down the hall, a student or a teacher in a high school. But they have a high level of professionalism of them. You talking about the curb appeal. I like that.
Yes.
The way you stated that. It's very high curb appeal over there.
Well, she sets the standard and leads by example in that and runs a tight ship in that particular school. But that's also a school built in 1997. My wife opened it. Her first year teaching was in that building when it was brand new.
Okay.
So so the curb, it all matters. It all matters.
Were you there the day they did the reading for all the students?
Actually, I had to go to a funeral that day, but I was scheduled to be there for the reading, but I had to cancel out.
Dr. Backman is a great example of a principal who pulls all her community resources in.
Right.
She does a great job at that.
Right. So, talking about buildings, let's talk about, Greg, what about that? I mean, and that's a conversation people are having now.
Sure.
The buildings, yes, but what about the educators and the students in those buildings? Now, we want decent buildings for sure.
Right.
Like you're saying, and that is the last building that was built, was that Grace Creek?
Yes, great. Well, New Century, the two international.
New Century, okay,
but they were right. Grace Creek was right before them. That was in our building boom in the early 2000s.
Right.
In late 97 on that last bond. So we built probably 11 schools then.
When you were in Johnson County, new construction, how much of that did you guys do over there?
It's sort of funny that you asked that. I was thinking about that the other day. I think it was about 9 or 10 schools that we built or remodeled or added additions on during my 5 years there. We did a bond. We did 2 bonds while I was there. We did it in, I think it was 22, 24. They typically do school bonds every 2 years down there.
In Sampson County?
No. We did no construction in Sampson County when I was there. But prior to my arrival, they built Midway High,
right?
Union High,
Right.
And they built the new Roseboro Elementary School.
Right.
Out there on Butler Island Road.
So now, matter of fact, Clinton is a city school, correct?
It is.
So they have their own. It's not that many of them left in North Carolina, is it?
It's like 15.
15 of them? Okay,
Yes.
all right.
And they built Clinton High when Sampson was building Midway and Union.
Right. Okay. Right. Well, the attractiveness of that and also the allure of that, like we said, we built a new school off of 401, just, I guess, more than about 2-3 miles south of Lillington, to where that school is actually at. But how concerned do you think communities are with that part of things, in their, how they look at education in the big picture?
About new construction?
Yeah.
Having witnessed it in Johnston County, I found communities excited when a new school came in their area. And I told somebody this about 2 weeks ago. If you've never been in a school, a brand new school, on the first day and watch students walk in and look at them, look around and look up, it's a moving experience.
Right.
When students walking to a new school for the very first time on the first day of school.
And I know people don't want to get too deep in the weeds, but compare, a new school or even the school you're in out at Hefner built in the 90s. That's a relatively modern school, and the school was built in the 50s. There's just no comparison. And we finally, got an in-depth, another architectural report on some of our older schools, and the bathrooms don't meet code, and the accessibility, for handicapped, and ADA requirements, the food, the child nutrition, freezers are not where they're supposed to be, window unit air conditioning. So think about the learning environment. You've got that noise of a window unit.
Yeah, I see that when I.
So people. So that's our goal, is to get kids into the most modern learning environment we've got. And we've got, as I've said before on here, we've at 82% occupancy, we've got 8 or 9 more schools than we need. And so we're just trying to make the best choices, not trying to rob any community of anything, and move kids to nearby schools that are newer. And that's really the spirit behind what we're doing. And there will be some new construction as well as we can afford it.
Okay. Wow. Well, but I think that, first of all, I think most of the people in the community are saying, Rob, we want you to win. And certainly, Dr. Bracy, we here want you to win.
Appreciate that.
I don't have a child in public schools here. However, I know the importance of this, and we certainly want you to be successful.
Thank you.
Because it's successful for all of us.
Absolutely.
The schools impact so much. I mean, we're not going to get people to come here,
Correct.
And build all these big businesses if they don't believe that their child can be in the kind of education system that will benefit them. They'll go somewhere else, and they're not going to build here. So, I mean, we talk about building blocks. Education has to be foundation.
I agree. And I'm glad you brought that up. It affects so many things. Quality of living here, business and industry that come into the system. And I remember being in another district and having this conversation with a county commissioner, and he talked about, he said, I don't know if you've ever thought about this, but the connection and correlation between how the school performs, it really affects us when we try to get businesses to come here. He said, I hate to put that pressure on you, but
certainly, I mean,
it all works together. And Mr. West alluded to this earlier about them fully funding us last year. We're certainly appreciative of that.
Right.
It means a lot.
Because we're tier 1 and we're trying to climb out of this.
That's
and,
right.
I don't, our tier 1 status, it's just, we got to change that. And I think that, it begins in a lot of places, but I believe it begins at the schoolhouse.
No, I mean, most everything runs through the schoolhouse, because that's important, like you said, for the neighborhoods that they're in, and obviously the children that are coming out of them, the employees. I mean, we've got 6,500 employees. We're the largest employer in the county.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it matters, the work climate that our board and Dr. Bracy and his staff are creating for these employees. So it's just the fabric of the community, and we need to do a good job. We've got a great communications department, but we need to offset any of the negative with all the good that's going on, because there's far much more good happening than bad in our schools, and we've got to tell that story and get it out.
True. And see, Doc, that's really what I wanted you in. I mean, look, now, if you don't tell your story,
True.
you know, it's like the African proverb.
Somebody tell it for me.
That's what I'm saying, you know.
Well, I'm gonna put on you. He can't invite himself. If you invite him, I'm pretty sure he'll
That's what I'm
come.
saying. Look, you know, you introduced me to him last year. I think it was
Okay.
October, whenever I was over there, and I want to follow up, get him in, because I want you to be behind this microphone
Absolutely.
to talk to our community more in depth. You know, we having a general conversation today, but you can be more specific about things so that they can become aware, and we can rebut some of the stereotypes and the things out there that and ideas that people have about what you guys are doing.
We appreciate it. And I'd love to come back.
Because I know you're doing great work. You know, like I said, Dr. Backman, that's one school, but I know she can't be the only school.
No, it's not
that's
isolated.
doing what she's doing.
No, it's a lot of great things going on.
A lot of great things going on, right? So, but look, when you were teaching and now there's a 2-letter word, AI, did you ever think something like that would be in the midst of education, and what kind of impact do you believe it may have with what you all do?
I think there's pros and cons of AI. The pros, it does a great job of helping teachers as they assess students. It helps with personalized learning. Excuse me. Helps with personalized learning as well. You know, when students are taking assessments, and if they miss multiple questions in a row, AI has the ability to get it on the level that the students need to be to have some success, and then it'll build them back up to whatever they're doing on a grade level. That's a positive thing. But some of the negative things, it'll do a paper for you.
I know.
That's not good. But then again, AI also, there's AI software that'll help you find people that plagiarize at the same time.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I mean,
it'll do that
right.
too.
Yeah, you have to do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, you know, if you look up there at the screen, so that right there, the WIDU morning, and you see it's a morning show thing, that's AI.
Wow.
I actually did that in Chat GTP,
Chat
right?
GPT.
That's what I'm saying. Because look, I took a course too. I'm 70 plus, and the county said, "Oh, you know, some of you seniors, y'all want to learn about this." I went, "That's it'll do all that."
And the three of us are just scratching the surface with what it'll do. It's almost trivial, but I used it right here now to pull up a study from the National Academy of Sciences that says false or negative news spreads 6 times faster than positive news on social media. So
that's true.
About
Right.
telling the stories, you know, we've got to work 6 times harder
We do.
to tell the good news and present the facts accurately than because bad news is going to do it by itself.
Yeah, because what happens is, you know, there's a lot of back and forth about various things, particularly all the schools. And unfortunately, Doc, you know, I grew up in a segregated world, but there are people that are still living that is Troy's age. And some of us are still fighting the fight, whether we need to be fighting or not.
Certainly.
But some of us are fighting the fight that I think that probably it's not the way some people see it. I mean, through the lens, they see black and white, and some of it's not. I don't think everything is black and white. I mean, that's just my own personal opinion. And I think that's a challenge that gets presented to executives such as yourself and professionals like Greg here, because that's what gets thrown at you. And they see something happen, they say, "Oh no," you know. It could be one way or the other. They see something inside of it that's really not there, and it makes your job a little more challenging.
Yeah, it does. But as I said earlier, we talk about No Child Left Behind. We're going to focus on those subgroups.
Correct.
Which are black, white, Latina, economically disadvantaged, all of them. Because all means all.
That's true.
And the board expects me to move the student achievement number for all students in our district.
Right.
And that's what we're going to do. That's our goal.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, look, we're excited about all of the great things that Cumberland County Schools is doing. Certainly, I relished the opportunity to meet you that night I met you, And I want you to know that you're always welcome to come here, even if I don't call you. If you got something going on, say, hey, look, I got something. Look, let's talk about this. You know, we got a welcome hinge here for you and your whole entire school system and your school board as well. You know, I wish I had phone numbers, but the way they have things routed, you have to email folk.
Yes.
And then
Troy, you know me, and I got everybody's number. So stop with the excuses. I got everybody's number. Just if you want to get.
But we need them
in
because there's some real questions of late that people have about public education, and we want the decision makers, because now you're the executive. These are the policy makers.
Correct.
And I think that first of all, I want people to understand the difference between the executive that's supposed to carry out the policy and the policy makers that make the policy. Don't get those two things confused, because sometimes people get that confused.
I think a whole lot.
I think sometimes people think they work for me.
I know that's what I'm saying, right? I know that. That's what I'm
I
saying.
work for them.
Exactly.
So just to add to that, when I got on the board, I've been on it 24 years. I heard this early, and it's true. The main role, really the only role function of the school board is to set policy.
That's it.
And to hire and fire the superintendent.
That's it.
Those two things.
That's it.
Then we need to get out of the way.
Right. And so, well, sometimes I think that when they come at the executive, it's like, you say, wait a minute, I'm carrying out, they're my bosses.
Right.
And I'm doing what I was told to do.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Of course, you're the professional and
That's
you
right.
can give them feedback.
Yes.
But still, at the end of the day, the policy is made by the board.
Yes. Absolutely.
Amen.
Amen. Well, look, again, glad to have you in today. And so I didn't realize you'd been down there in Roseboro.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to think of that little restaurant down there.
The Salemburg's got the pizza place.
Salem Pizzas in Salemburg.
But there's a little restaurant right there in Roseboro. When you come
Steakhouse.
through. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Is it Railroad Steakhouse? Or
Something like that.
And then there's Hunter's Cafe on 24.
Yeah. But
good people down there in Roseboro.
Yeah, good people there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you see this young man here, he's our student intern.
Awesome.
And from Fayetteville State University. And that's his dad there, Reverend Dr. Carlson Brown. He's a pastor of Mount Zion, Amen Zion Church. Okay. And I got your evaluation yesterday, okay?
Uh-oh.
So if your Dr. Miller, you know her? Yes. Yeah, she texted that to me. So it depends on how much your dad gives me, okay?
I bet that Dr. Brown knows A.D. Brown from down in Sampson County. Yes, absolutely. Presiding Elder A.D. Brown.
Okay.
He died 2 weeks ago. Wow, I didn't know that.
Oh, man.
Did not know that. Wow. Great,
Sorry to hear that.
man.
Troy, you were going to let me plug the concert at our church?
Yeah, that's right, I did. Let's talk about that.
On Sunday. So Snyder Baptist Church over on Westmont Drive off Bragg Boulevard, so real close to here, and your listeners is putting on our spring concert. This year, because of the 250th anniversary of the country, it's called God and Country, and we've got a 30-piece orchestra and a 50-voice choir, and along with some gospel music, or spiritual music, church music, we're going to do some songs from Saving Private Ryan and Schindler's List. So it'll be very strong. It's only about 90 minutes, hour and 20 to hour and a half long, but it's just going to be powerful. It's free, 4:30 on Sunday, God and Country at Snyder Memorial Baptist Church. So I think anybody would be blessed if they can make the time to go see it.
Yes, sir.
And we've worked hard on it, so I want as many people to see it as we can.
Excellent. Well, look,
I can't sing, so I won't be in the choir.
Look, I can't sing either. Admittedly, I can't sing.
I can't make a joyful noise.
Right.
Oh, everybody can. Just the orchestra will drown you out, so it's all good.
But anyway, also thank you, our most able producer, Ms. Tammy Quick. Thank you so much. And what's your shirt say today? She has these great shirts. It's only
sarcasm burned calories. She must be sarcastic.
Oh yeah. No, she's great, man. She's great. But look, we're gonna get out of here. But look, appreciate you guys so much, and thankful for you, Doc. And we'll stay in touch, and we'll come back. We'll have some more conversations. But look, tell us what we can do to make it better for you.
I appreciate it.
As a community.
And I'll get your number from Mr. West.
Okay,
so we
all
can stay in
right,
touch.
sure, appreciate you. Well, look, we're out of here. Take care, guys. Okay, before you leave, I want you to take a picture with Caleb here. I'm making a little book for him.
All right.
And if you guys grab a picture with him, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a great